things that's fascinating is we continue to preach over and over and over again about knowing numbers, inventory levels, that kind of thing. And now this is a situation where it's really coming back to bite people. No pun intended. Like, so what advice do you have in terms of keeping inventory on stock so that you can limit the cost of goods sold and yet offer the amount, the same menu options? Are you recommending that restaurants limit the menu options in order to be effective and efficient?
Tim, that's a really good point. And there's another question I saw actually
from Travis.
That's related, but kind of on a different realm. Maybe we can touch on that here in a second. But
sure.
Yeah, I think Tim, I think it's a really sound point. How can we be as cost effective as possible? How can we trim away the fat wherever we possibly can, right? So whatever that looks like. But yeah, absolutely. Limiting inventory, especially when you think of like fresh products, because at the end of the day, like most of these restaurants are going to have to open back up full scale at some point, and there's gonna be a couple $1,000s at least worth of starting inventory you're gonna have to buy as well. So knowing that, like,
great point.
There's
what's interesting too is something that was just across the street from you when you had Three-Way. Is I remember when D-Egg Diner started juicing, right? And they implemented juice. And so people will be like, oh, that was the hot new trend. And while that might be true, I remember Phil Decker telling me, well, actually, we were able to juice some of the stuff that would have spoiled that we couldn't put on food that way, but we could actually juice it because it was still in the, I don't know, I'm in the realm of being safe, but right. They could juice it. And so, it's thinking about stuff like that, right? It's like, okay. And I've seen there's restaurants that have like no waste products, right? And so it's get back to your roots and really think about stuff where it's like, okay, what can I do here? Yeah, like I could do it this way and have a lot of waste, or I could really promote that we are doing a no waste piece. And that actually, if we're thinking about the camouflage marketing side of it, that can be the thing that's different because no one else is doing that at this point. I haven't seen a single message about that. All I've seen is, hey, we're open. We're here for you. Please freaking buy from us. 50,000 tacos sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one really good way to market would be, all right, especially if you're like a local kind of farm to table type restaurant where you're supporting local farms, they're obviously having challenges right now too. So if you can kind of create or keep them or include them in the marketing message, now the customer feels like, oh, well, I'm supporting Chris's restaurant, but I'm also supporting this farmer that lives down the street from me as well.